on this thing. Shaylin, listen to how low this bike idles. That doesn't happen unless the carbs are synced perfectly. And watch this. There's like, come on over here, Shay. There's like no hesitation. There is no hesitation. That's a finely tuned Suzuki force.
This is a 78 Suzuki GS1000, and it looks stock, but it's not. It's got a 1100cc weight kit in it. It's actually a 1085cc Wiseco. Want to bring it over here and put it on the center stand?
I'm actually doing a track cam on this thing. Wow.
Everything works beautifully on the bike. All the turn signals, left, right.
Thanks, Shay.
High beam, low beam. Everything works absolutely perfectly on this bike because it was just given a full frame off restoration. By that I mean 3 weeks ago this thing was right down to the frame. Jeff Cassidy, an All Sport Cycle, who's a 60-year-old master technician, who's been in the industry forever, built this bike, and he took it right down to the frame, painted the frame, and the tank and tins. He actually did this bike twice. He did this bike in 2005. He did a frame up on it, and he did it again 3 weeks ago. Jeff's somewhat of a perfectionist and went through every nut and bolt on this bike. It has an absolutely gorgeous, I don't know if you can see the metal flake in this paint job. It looks black until you get up close, and it's got all the colors of that you could imagine in here, reflectable. I don't know how he did that, some kind of PPG reflective.
It's like a galaxy, like midnight galaxy black.
And it's got, this is a painted, that's not a decal, it's painted on Suzuki graphics. It's got a GS1000 West Cooley style fairing on the front. Has the original chrome front fender. And when you talk about a motor, this is the motor that dominated the 1 liter 1000cc class in 1978 when Suzuki came out with this motor. They needed to beat Yamaha's XS1100, the Goldwing GL1000, the Kawasaki KZ1000. Of the big four, Suzuki needed to beat those three, and they did. They trumped them. They came out with a bike that was based off the GS750, so it had a lighter, smaller block engine and frame, which equates to better power to weight ratio, and they just hit the nail on the head with this thing. Jeff took this to the next level and went through the whole bike. It's got a 1085cc Wiseco big bore piston kit with a 10.25 to 1 compression ratio, with a Cometic head gasket. It has the Viton valve seals, 8 of them, brand new base gasket, brand new head gasket, 4 Wiseco ring sets, brand new rings, valve cover gaskets, has a new Yuasa battery, a new cylinder head, new oil and filter, new spark plugs, all new instrument bulbs. All the bulbs in the bike are new. All the lighting works perfect on it. New throttle cable, new breather cover gasket. The carburetors has new needles and seats, a new OEM petcock. The tank was cleaned out, and a new regulator and rectifier. So he removed the top end, loaned the cylinders, put new rings in it, put the new cylinder head on it with new valve seals, adjusted all the valve shims, cleaned the carbs, and this thing was. The carbs are synchronized. This thing was rated for 90 horsepower stock, so with that 1085cc kit, it's definitely going to be substantially more than that.
It's a ripper.
So when he originally built this bike in 2005, that's when he put the big bore kit on it. He put the big bore kit on it, and babe, I'm doing a video. Can I call you back? We're on the first floor here with Heavy D. Come see us. Okay. Bye. Christy's going to come say hello. This bike was originally built by Jeff in 2005, and it says right here, born 1978, we're born 2005. He should have had another one here. Let's see, I guess you could call it born again, 2019, because 2 weeks ago, he had this thing right down to the frame, took the top end off it, went through everything on it. So when you add up how much it costs between you got a $1,500 paint job, you've got thousands invested in the motor, it's got a beautiful set of mags on it, it's got a Pro Street exhaust pipe on it, new tires, new battery, the new seat cover. The other one, the blue and silver West Cooley replica, we added up, there was over $10,000 invested in that bike. If you bought this bike to a shop and said, hey, take it down to the frame, rebuild the motor, put a paint job on it, what do you think it's gonna cost you? You're gonna end up with a probably 60, 70 hour labor bill, and then thousands in parts. So you can't duplicate this bike. Buy a regular GS1000 that needs to be restored for $3,000 or $4,000, that's a good running bike, and try to create this. You're gonna have $10,000 tied up in it. Heavy, is there anything you want to add about this bike? This comes from your era too.
That bike, I actually had one of those brand new, and when I rode it, it gave you a permanent smile on your face. It's a wheelie machine. You're in the right position to throw it around, and I think whoever buys that will have a grin on their face from ear to ear.
And that's really what it's all about, man. Let's face it, we're not buying street bikes, super bikes for practicality. We're buying them because they're supposed to be fun.
It's fun, yeah.
And this one is ready to go right through DMV. It's got all the turn signals, all the lights work perfectly, and it's got a nice set of shocks on it. And the bars, the other one had the Superbike bars, which are a little more lean forward position. Dale and I talked about this earlier. I'm 55. Dale, how old are you?
60.
He's 60, and you know, when you're not, you don't want to be all bent over and have your back screaming at you. So having a nice big comfy seat for you and your girl and a set of bars where you're not bent over like you're on a crotch rocket or something, it pays dividends for the long haul if you're really going to ride this bike and enjoy it and keep it fun, not just have it be fun the first few miles. But this bike's all set up with air forks on the front. You can add 10 pounds of the air if you're running with a passenger or you want it a little bit stiffer. It's got a beautiful set of shocks on the back. The tires are like new. The brakes work beautifully. Everything's been done. And hell, it just had a frame off resurrection 2 weeks ago where he went through everything on it. So, and everything works beautifully. So another Kaplan America approved bike. This is something I would ride cross country tomorrow, gladly. So if you have any questions about the bike, give us a call, 860-454-7024. The bike needs nothing. It's just been redone, top to bottom, front to back. Junior, you want to add anything about this bike?
Man, these Jap inline fours are notoriously noisy. This bike idles low and it's whisper quiet. The motor just, it runs like a Rolex watch, and I don't think that my little ride up and down the line here did the bike justice. We need to take it outside and take it for a real ride for you guys. It's pitch black outside right now and freezing cold, and there's salt on the roads.
It's 18 degrees out, otherwise we'd be ripping this with a helmet cam, so pardon us, but the only place we can ride this time of year here in Connecticut right before Christmas is inside, which sucks. But I figured I'd pull out the comprehensive vintage motorcycle price guide. This bike is 42 years old, looks and runs like brand new, and has a #1 value of $6,500. That's for a stock standard one. This one's got the Wiseco big bore kit on it, the Pro Street pipe. The carbs have been tuned to perfection. It's got a custom paint job on it, new seat cover, new grips. Everything's absolutely minty, minty, minty fresh on this one. So don't miss out, folks. Good luck finding a nicer one than this, because there aren't many out there anymore. Most of them, Dale and I were talking about it earlier, how when we were kids, my brother had one of these. He had a West Cooley, a 79. The 78, 79, the 79, 80 made him 2 years of West Coolies. They start at $15,000, and they're super rare because of what we talked about earlier. Most of us young bucks took them out.
One of the things that we didn't mention about this bike does two things very well. If you want to ride your lady, take her out, it's comfortable. If you want to go out and do wheelies and burnouts, it does it. And it's just a fun bike to ride. The sound of it is second to none. Enjoy your new bike, whoever reaches out and pays for this gem. I think you'll really like it.
Oh, you'll be. Listen to this thing. No valve noise, no piston slap. Everything's new on the top end.
It's jetted. Perfect. Go ahead. Give it a fast rev. There's no head. There's zero.
It runs like a fuel-injected bike, and that's not something you find on a 42-year-old super bike unless it's done right, you know?
All those guys that says that the Kawasaki is the answer, this one right here will make that Kawasaki cry.
I really like the bars on this one, man. I can sit pretty much, like if you close your eyes and put your hands down, this is exactly where they fall. So it's just super comfy. Good luck bidding on it. Merry Christmas. God bless America.